Welcome to a More Beautiful World podcast with Susyn Renee, a place for those of us with the desire to expand our consciousness, tap into higher vibrations of love, and to connect into a community where together we can make the world a more beautiful place. I'm so eager to share with you what I've learned on my journey in discovering how we're all connected and how what we do for one, we do for us all. Here, I'll be sharing my own experiences, knowledge, and expertise for how you can heal, transform, and ascend your being so that together we can create the more beautiful world we all know is possible. Well, hello, my dear tribe, and welcome to this episode of my podcast all about honoring your energy. Today, we're going to be talking about honoring your energy and what that means, why it's important. And I'm going to be sharing a tool, one of my favorite tools that you can use as a barometer to check in on if you are honoring your energy or not. And also, I'm going to share some ways to use this practice to maybe break down some self limiting beliefs that you might have in there in that psyche of yours. So let's dive right in. First and foremost, what does it mean to honor your energy? So, honoring your energy, it really is a form of self respect and self appreciation. It's saying, like I would say to myself, I see you, Susyn. I feel you, see you, hear you. I understand your needs, and I'm wanting to respect those. So, it really is a way of loving yourself and expressing self love. So, in honoring your energy, it really is important because the more that you honor yourself, the more you do honor others as well. Remember, what we do for ourselves, we do for us all. And honoring your energy allows you as well to be who you truly are. It allows you to live authentically, and it allows you to create a more meaningful experience in this life. And so, the more that we can live authentically and express our truth, the more we can live in it. And, this really allows us to be able to share our gifts with the world as well. So remember, again, what you do for yourself, you do for us all. So the more that you can honor your energy, love, respect yourself, appreciate yourself, and stay in a high vibration, the more you are lifting up those around you. So it's why it's beautiful to be on this planet at this time, doing this work, because it is really amazing that, again, what we're doing for ourselves, we're doing for us all. So, if any of you know Abraham Hicks, she is just a wonderful source of energy, and she shares a lot about raising our vibration, honoring our energy, living in the vortex. And so, if you've heard any of her stuff, well, if you haven't, I recommend you check her out as well. But Abraham always talks about the fact that we are vibrational and energetic beings, and our higher self is our guide. And our emotions give us clues as to whether we are in alignment or out of alignment with our higher self. And our higher self is really our vision, it's our purpose, it is like our overall connection to what we want out of life. So, as we are thinking about honoring our energy, again, this is a way to honor our higher self. Okay, it's a way to make sure we are in alignment with getting what we want out of life, in alignment with manifesting, our dreams and our desires. So, in this episode, I want to share with you a quick tool that I use as a barometer to really check in to see if I'm honoring my energy. But before I share the tool, a few things. First of all, I want to warn you that coming up in this episode, I'm going to say the F word quite a lot. Okay. So if that offends you, then I would just end here. No harm, no foul. Much love to you. But if you are down for the F word, which is the word fuck, for those of you who were wondering, stay tuned because this episode's about to get pretty juicy when it comes to honoring our energy. Um, so before I share with you my super special tool that involves the word fuck, let me start with an example because I think examples and stories are such great ways to really understand these practices. So, how many times have you maybe just you've been wanting to spend the day right with yourself? Maybe you want to go out into nature that day, or you want to go to the spa or go get your nails done. Maybe you just feel like staying in your jammies with your fur baby or with your human babies, and you just want to watch a movie or whatever. But you feel that you should instead go to your great Aunt Marcia's birthday party because everybody will be there and it would, be so rude not to go. So you really should go, right? We've all been there. There are probably a gazillion examples you can come up with where there was something that your energy wanted, your higher self wanted for that day, that week, that moment, whatever. But then there was this other side of it that was a should, right? You felt you should do something. You should go, to this party. You should go show up for a friend who, you really didn't want to see that day. Those instances happen. But I'm going to challenge you like, says who? Who says we should go and do that, right? Where does that should come from? And where do these beliefs come from that designate these shoulds? So I'm going to plant that seed. We're going to circle back to those questions because I think we have a really big opportunity to get curious right there, and that is going to help us expand our self-awareness, which we talked about in the previous episode. But let me tell you that right now, in the moment, you start making choices by those shoulds. Every time, even when every fiber of your being wants otherwise, right? And you are deciding to go with the should part, you are then giving away your precious energy. You are acting out of alignment with your higher self, and you are disrespecting yourself when you do that. It is not a loving thing to do for yourself. You are actually taking yourself further away from manifesting your dreams, from improving your life, from making it a more beautiful world each and every time that you should on yourself. Okay. Honestly, I would get the word should out of your language. We're going to have a whole episode on upgrading our language and making shifts in our language. But the word should is very detrimental. I once had someone tell me, I used to say should a lot, by the way. I once had someone tell me, a great mentor, stop shoulding on yourself because it's not flattering. And still makes me laugh when I hear that. But it's true, because the moment we even just switch from should to could, we really could do anything that we want, right? But the key difference, when we change over to could, it gives us an opportunity for choice, right? And an opportunity to come into alignment with something we actually want to do, right? I could right now, go out to the mall and spend a couple $1,000s on clothes. I absolutely could do that. I don't want to. I don't need new clothes. I actually have been trying to pare down some of my wardrobe lately. But I have an option, right? Now, the moment, someone starts to say, again, you should be doing that. That's when it can be more forced and it's not in flow. And again, it comes back to, are we in alignment or are we out of alignment? Are we honoring our energy or are we disrespecting our energy, right? And are we saying, no, I don't love you. I don't appreciate you. I don't respect you. We are just going to go with this. So, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite tools that I love sharing with my clients. So, here is your barometer in these situations. And it is this: if it is not a fuck yes, then it is a fuck no. Let me repeat that for you just to make sure. If it is not a fuck yes, then it is a fuck no. Okay. And this goes back to any decision that you need to make when you are trying to check in to see if, this party with great Aunt Marcia, or, this going out to lunch with a friend, or whatever the thing that is in front of you. Hey, maybe it's even a big life decision. Maybe it's even thinking about moving somewhere, moving to a different state, moving to a different country, buying a house. If it is not a fuck yes, then the answer is a fuck no. Okay. And this is a barometer for you to check in to see if this is in alignment with your higher self, if this is in alignment with your best energy, your greatest good, your vortex, whatever you want to call it. But if there is a decision where you are trying to, really figure it out, if you're getting any little gut feelings that are like, I don't really want to, or like, it doesn't really sound good. That is not what a fuck yes feels like. Okay. Anytime there's any indecision in there for yourself, if you're kind of like swirling a little bit, well, I could go. And maybe if I did go, that person would feel better. And oh, it'd be really nice. And oh, I don't want to disappoint. Any of that stuff that's coming up, that's your fuck no. All right. All of that is telling you it is not a fuck yes. Indecisions, and again, I don't care how small or how large they are. If it is you, again, having lunch or dinner with a friend, if it is going to someone's birthday party or anniversary party, or whatever, if it's moving across the country or starting a new business, whatever it is, with every fiber of your being, you want every cell in your body to scream a big fuck yes. Because if it is not in alignment with your higher self. And believe me, with years of experience as a people pleaser behind me, I can tell you, you give away a lot of power when it is not a fuck yes. And when you are acting out of pleasing other people and, oh, I really should do this because mom would be proud, or, maybe dad would love me more, or maybe my partner would, see me as a nicer person, whatever, all of those shoulds, get them out. You guys, I'm telling you, if it is not a fuck yes, then it is a fuck no. And I can tell you, I have really been focusing on incorporating that into my own life because I do like to practice what I preach. Actually, sometimes see myself as a guinea pig who tries out all of these things for you all. And that way I can share them with you. But in my current partnership and in all of my friendships, and even in my relationships with my family, I have begun to implement this because I have learned that honoring this has created so much more joy in those relationships. It's created so much more happiness and flow and mutual respect and appreciation. So, quick example here, one of my best and dearest friends, her and I, very early on, we met right as we were both like kind of in this post-divorce space. And sometimes when you have gone through a divorce very recently, your energy can shift and change like really quickly. And so we decided during that time that if we made plans to get together and on the day of it didn't feel right, we would honor and respect each other for canceling plans and hold no hard feelings. And at the time, it was a little hard to, really tap into that, but we both needed it. And there were times where we canceled plans. And what it came to be was our friendship deepened so much more. And again, there was such a deeper level of respect and appreciation that grew within the friendship by allowing each other to show up authentically, to honor our energies, to not take things personally or have hard feelings, and to, again, just honor and respect each other for choosing what is in our best interest and what is for our greatest good. So let me tell you another bonus benefit out of this. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. When you start to only choose the fuck yeses with your time, when you're like, no, that shit is in alignment and I'm going to do that because that is of benefit to me. And when you start to let go of these things that are, again, those fuck no's, like, I'm not doing that, that doesn't feel good, you are going to create so much more time and space for yourself to do the things that actually bring you joy. And if you need a motivating factor to put my little barometer into practice, use this as your fuel. Because let me tell you, one of the biggest things that I see with my clients as we're trying to implement new practices or bring in, anything into their life, one of the biggest objections I always get is, I don't have enough time. Well, you're never going to have enough time. You have to make time. And how do you make time? You cut out the things that are no longer serving you, that are not in alignment with your highest energy. You let go of all those things that are not serving you, and you make the time. So that's a bonus benefit of this practice. And again, I hope you can use that as a little bit of motivation and fuel for putting this into practice. And let me tell you, aligning with, the fuck yes, or if it's not the fuck yes, right, then it's a fuck no. In that, when you start to communicate to folks that you're not going to that party, or you're, not going to show up for lunch that day, or whatever it is that you're making, your decision with that, you're going to piss some people off. People are going to get upset. And some people are going to take things personally. You can get them Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements, maybe give them a nice little overview on how to not take things personally, because it's one of the big pieces of that book. Or, you can have conversations about honoring your energy. You can share this podcast with them. But the people who do truly love you, who love you for your most authentic self and for all of who you are, and for the ones who truly respect you and respect your energy and respect your time, they are going to understand. Okay, so again, this practice can maybe make some people fall out of your life. And I'm here to tell you that if that happens, that is okay. It is probably just like you are doing, right? Of letting go of what doesn't feel in alignment, what doesn't feel like it serves you. Those people falling out of your life are probably a universal gift, that they are no longer vibrating at the same energy that you are, and therefore they fall out of your life. But again, this practice is a bit of a difficult one to implement, because it can very much be centered around those that we love the most. So I do encourage you to maybe start small, start with what feels like smaller, more insignificant things for you, and maybe build yourself up, work your way up, because this ultimately is a process of learning how to love and respect yourself more. It is a process of putting up boundaries, right? Again, this barometer I'm sharing of, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. It's a boundary, and it is a line of self-respect, and it does take practice. It takes some time to grow this and to cultivate this love for yourself. So starting small can be really helpful. And again, some of the people that we say yes to the most, that it really needed to be a no, they are the ones that we love the most. So be gentle with yourself as you put this into practice. Give yourself the grace and space and compassion. There are still times when I make decisions and I'm like in the middle of them, and I, sit with myself for a moment and go, wow, this was not a fuck yes. Like, why did I really come to this event or do this thing? So, this is something that it does take practice, and I am not claiming perfection on it. However, I will say it has saved me a lot of energy and a lot of time. So I hope that you can use this barometer in your own personal life and start to, again, put it into practice to make sure you are honoring your energy. And, again, I have talked about it in a previous episode, expanding your awareness on whether or not you are honoring your energy, with this barometer, even that is a step forward. So even if you don't start saying, no's to people, even just asking yourself the question, putting your awareness around whether or not you are honoring your energy, that is a step forward. And I would commend you just for taking that step forward. So with that, tribe, I know, again, it's kind of like a lot to digest, some of these things. So always feel free to, re-listen to these podcasts if you want. But remember, honoring your energy is an act of self-love. It's an act of self-respect and self-appreciation. And there is no need to should on yourself. All right. So if you find yourself shoulding, get curious, ask why. And again, use that to expand your self-awareness, to, use it as an opportunity to see if there are any self-limiting beliefs that you may have existing in your psyche, and see if there are, things in there that need clearing out. And when you do that, remember, you can, start to really, again, deepen your level of self awareness, self understanding. And when you're presented with more and more options, keep using that barometer. If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. And use that to honor your energy, to love yourself, to respect yourself more. And ultimately, remember, as you do that, the more that you can do that, the more you can put that into practice, the more you are raising your vibration, and you're raising the vibration of the collective. And that is what makes the world a more beautiful place for us all. So I love you. I appreciate you. I honor you. I respect you. I appreciate you showing up here today, my dear tribe. So until next time, much love to you. Mwah. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Hey, tribe. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this podcast, make sure to like the video below and then click subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember, I've got lots of free resources available to you to support your healing, transformation, and ascension out in the description below. Thanks again for tuning in, tribe. And until next time, much love to you all.